Yes, fuseodg here, and I'm here to discuss this whole issue about Nigerian music being played in Ghana. So first of all of this is actually based on a retweet. It wasn't an actual tweet from me. RT, the young talented Ghanaian artist who was frustrated about not getting airplay, which I can sympathize with as an artist because it's not easy as an underground artist on the come up in any country. But I guess there's a few things that we need to address. One of them is he said limit, not stop. I've seen a lot of headlines saying that I want Nigerian music to be, not be played in Ghana. But if you know me as an artist, if you know me as fuseodg and my philosophy, you would know that I would never say anything like that, because I have too much love for Africa. I have too much love for Nigeria and its people and its music. And I'm even blessed to be one of the few non-Nigerians to be embraced by the country. But limit is different to stop. And there's an obvious reason, I guess, why a few non-Nigerians are accepted in Nigeria. And I guess I'm going to touch on this in a bit. But for me, this is actually not about Nigeria. I RT Toy Boy to echo a message through to Ghana, because I feel like one of the amazing things about Ghana is how open we are as a people, how welcoming we are. And that's why people like to visit the country. That's why people like to, come and chill in Ghana. But I guess it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because whilst we know how to welcome people, which I'm very proud of, big salute to Ghana for that. My main issue with Ghanaians is that we have no idea how powerful it is to own our culture and selling our culture to the world, and I feel like Ghana has kind of missed it completely. Funnily enough, the Nigerians get it, the South Africans get it, the French get it. In Nigeria, they have a quota for music played on the radio, which is like 80% of the music being played on the radio has to be local Nigerian music. And France, if you go to France, it's the same thing. It's about 40%. I think South Africa is similar as well. They have a similar quota. And these countries know the value of their culture, in a way that, Ghana's kind of missed it, because I feel like we don't realize the value of our culture. And I guess you can see results in these other countries, because obviously, of course there's other factors, but, it's no coincidence that Nigeria and South Africa are two of the biggest economies on the whole of the continent. Even on a global scale, if we take one of the biggest economy in the world, like America, their biggest export is their culture. Even though there are many, many other factors to consider, but there's a direct correlation between how they promote their culture and their performance as a nation. People are wearing American brands like Nike, from here to Timbuktu, because they feel cool to be part of that brand, due to how they sell their culture to the world. But and to me, Ghana specifically need to take notes, because you guys see me out there screaming about Africa, or mostly screaming about Ghana, and some people probably think, why am I always going on about Ghana? Because I know once we learn how to sell our culture and package it and export our culture and sell it to the world, lives are going to be changed, and not just in Ghana, but actually the whole world. Because if we actually know that we have something great to offer, if we recognize that we have something great to offer, then we should be packaging it and selling it to the world. And that's what I did with Azonto. It was an amazing dance that nobody in Ghana really understood the true value of. I just packaged it and I sold it to the world. And to me, off of the back of that song, we're building schools, houses have been bought, jobs have been created, there's a platform that we've created to now change the narrative of Africa. And so with the music and packaging the culture, the effects of it is a lot bigger than the music. Final note on Nigeria, actually, one thing that I really love about Nigerians is their sense of pride, that you can't compare it to no other citizens in any other country. They can argue amongst themselves, because I travel a lot and I meet a lot of Nigerians. They can argue amongst themselves whether they're Yoruba or Igbo. But as soon as you say something bad about Nigeria, they will turn on you. Just like how I'm getting, all these messages from Nigerians saying I've insulted them. But that's how we should be for Africans. That's how we should be as Africans. We need to, it really all comes back to self-love. Like how I always say, if you love something, you will fight and protect it. So imagine if this same energy was spread across the whole continent. So like a Senegalese and a Nigerian and a Ghanaian are having an argument about who has the best jollof rice amongst themselves. But the minute that someone comes and says something bad about Africa, they unite. And that's how we should be. You know, the perfect example is the BET. You know, when we all came together to speak against BET giving awards backstage, I spoke about it. Then Wiz spoke about it. And Yemi spoke about it. And a couple other artists also spoke about it. Then fast forward, Davido wins his award on the main stage. You know, so imagine if as a generation, with all the technology that we have available, we actually have the chance to create this new African nation, to build this nation where there's no borders, there's no tribal wars. And I guess I haven't got all the answers. And, you know, I guess it's a global conversation that we all need to have. So if you're watching this video, I need you to share this video and let's actually have a conversation. Hashtag New African Nation with your suggestion, because we need to have a global conversation, because I actually don't have all the answers. But I guess as Africans, we all need to stick together and move together to actually conquer the world. Also, I've dropped my new single, Lazy Day, with one of the biggest Latin artists in the world, and written with one of the biggest artists in the world as well. So you guys go and check it out, Lazy Day. Africa, we need to champion our music together, because the benefits outside of the music is phenomenal and is mind-blowing. So much love and rah, rah, rah.